Fucking all right, fucking ruined with the fucking effing and jeffing from the get-go. This is not a children's show.
Fucking right, it ain't, son.
Fucking right.
All you
Couple of
kids.
geezers.
All you fucking kids.
Yeah.
You can fuck right off.
In general, fucking kids. You know when you see a kid running really fast and they're like absolutely free and they're just like, yeah. I just want to trip them.
Stick your leg out.
There was one time when
Welcome to reality.
life's going to hit you harder than that, kid. It's the fact that when they fall, they're not used to falling so much, so they don't have the sense to get the hands out.
Yeah,
and they just go down like your granddad.
Yeah. Well, they're not. It's a different type of fall. It's like old people fall very rigid. Young people fall very floppy, like too floppy,
Like a crash test.
like they fall and they like curve inward, so they're like whoa.
And then they look at you immediately like,
Yeah.
did that hurt me?
Yeah.
And you've got two ways of going about it. One is, well done, carry on. And then they're like, yeah. Or two, you go, and then you create a pussy.
Yeah, that is it, isn't it? They're literally looking to be like, how
do I react to this?
how do I react to that?
Yeah. Don't
And
make
it's
it a
like,
pussy.
You just got fucking owned.
What you should do is just go, ah.
Yeah. You've been framed 250 quid.
There was one time it says at uni, so at Newcastle, but at the Metro Centre. Now the Metro Centre has that red brickwork all around the outside, like the red brick paving.
Right.
And the Metro Centre is where you go if you want to lose your children or any beloved one, because it's the most confusing shopping centre. They made it in an X shape of some kind.
It looks great from the outside.
You'll never find your car again.
Yeah.
Never, ever. Once you go in, car's gone. And you're buying a new one. So take a banger because you're never getting back. You're getting back on the bus.
Yeah.
And this kid was just running. Yeah, you put the ice in. This kid was just running. We were heading in, and you had to walk along quite a bit of the side to get to the doors to go in. And cheers, mate. This kid just came flying past me. Like, you're not ready for it. And he went flying past and he got about 8 feet in front of me. And then he just caught a lip on one of those little red bricks. Just caught a lip. And he just went down so fast and so hard, just right on his face. There's three of us, me, Ben, and Keith. Shout out to you guys if you're still alive. Sidetrack on that. I know Ben's alive. He's fly fishing, and Keith was Scottish, so he might not be. There's no veg. But he went. Those two immediately were like, "Oh my god!" I had to hold on to the wall because I was laughing so hard I could barely stand up. I was trying to hold the laughter in though because the parent was nearby.
Yeah.
So I did that whole just like an exhaling shitty balloon.
Yeah.
And nearly, like, the boys both looked at me, knees crumpling, holding in my life soul. Both of them went, "You're going to hell." I was like, "Oh, that's it."
Funniest.
It just went down so hard and so fast. And it's just the fact he didn't even know it was coming. He was just like, "I'm free to be whatever." It still cracks me up. Oh, just not even the hands didn't even raise from the waist.
Yeah.
Just.
I love seeing people fall over. It's one of my favourite things. It can genuinely turn the day around for me.
Or when you people walk into lampposts and stuff.
Yes, someone's on the phone and they bump into something.
Is there anything
brilliant.
better?
A fall is... I always find a fall slightly more entertaining. Assuming, like, I don't find old people falling funny because then I do actually think, they've fucked themselves up there. Yeah. But anyone who's...
But old people react better than any kid. Old people are like, "Oh, I'm fine."
Yeah, they've literally
I can see your skull. Yeah,
yeah, they've turned their hip to dust.
Yeah.
But they're like, "I'm fine.
That'll be right. Yeah, happens every week.
Yeah. How did we get onto this?
I don't know. It just made me giggle. It's the thing that comes to the forefront of my mind if I'm ever feeling a bit down. My brain goes, "Hey, Lex, how you doing, boy?" I'm like, "All right. Remember that time that kid outside the Metro Centre fell and smashed his face into the red brick? And you laughed so hard you couldn't stand up? Yeah, reminisce."
I was going around B&Q the other day, and there was a kid running around with 2 spoons, like dessert
Where did you get
spoons.
from?
He came in with them, I'm assuming. His mum was not bothered at all. Literally just running around going, just clapping the 2 spoons together, and he was like laughing to himself and running around, and I was there like, "Please fall over, He didn't fall
Anyone
over.
who's running and smashing spoons is coordinated.
Yeah.
You need the kid that's picking his nose and watching a balloon.
Yeah.
That kid's falling over.
Yeah. But smashing spoons, and they were just like, and it was really fucking
funny when
loud.
you're a kid that like the things that matter to you. I'm taking these spoons with me today. Today is spoon day.
Yeah. I fucking love spoons. I'm having 2 of them, and then part of me was just like, maybe he's that broke that those are his only toys.
They wouldn't be in B&Q if they were broke.
Just the 2 spoon.
They'd be in B&M or no. What's
Well, they were looking in the plant.
Decent.
They're in the plant section.
Oh, they're definitely not broke.
Yeah.
Plants are not cheap.
No, yeah, they weren't.
My mum bought me a plant for my birthday. Yeah. Or 3.
Yeah.
They're nice. They're outside there. See them on the way in.
Yeah.
They do spruce the places up.
I like plants a lot.
But there's always...
just kill them by accident.
Yeah, that's it. There's always a 3-day, oh, shit, when you see them after the 3rd day because you've ignored them for a few and you're like, and you've got to get them before they wilt.
That's part of my criteria of looking for plants, something that doesn't die very easy.
Cactus.
Yeah, cactus. Aloe as well, aloe vera. They
Do they look good, though?
Yeah, I think so. You can get some really like... You seen an aloe vera plant? They're like quite big and big, thick, fat leaves, and they can grow quite large. Cactuses are like normally like
dildo shaped.
Yeah.
You were going to say it.
I was going to say
get pointy ones. I've got one upstairs, a little mini one. Oh shit, I haven't watered that. I'm going to go and water that afterwards. At least the cactus can survive a little bit.
Aloe vera.
But there's one. I've got one downstairs, which is very Christmassy, all red.
So that's like
there's one of those downstairs in my. Hang on, what is that?
That's an aloe vera plant. But they look. There's loads of. They can. That's
that is
like
just
a kind
green
of
points,
sparse-looking one.
Yeah.
The one I've got, there's like loads more of those leaves, but not quite as long.
A bit bushier.
Yeah. You can get a big old.
Somebody mentioned about one that got caught in a house fire.
Oh no! This was me, my mate Chris.
And it looked like it was bleeding. Was
that
you?
Yeah. Because it burnt. Or because it's like literally you can snap it off. That is aloe vera. It's very like full of liquid, which is why I don't understand why it doesn't need watering very frequently. Because
it holds all the liquid inside like a cactus.
But where's it coming from? Like, there's not a lot in there. Like
maybe it absorbs some atmosphere. Do you spritz them?
No, I literally do nothing.
Do you know why plant? You know,
I water that like once every 2 weeks. Maybe.
You know, people say about singing to plants helps them, and everyone's like, "You're mental."
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it definitely does. No, it really does. Do you know why, though?
Look at the size of that bad boy.
Oh, yeah. That is quite big.
Like, that's massive. You wouldn't have that in your house.
It's like a squid coming at you.
Yeah. Actually, they kind of look a bit freaky when they get quite big.
Oh, yeah, look at that. That looks like a starfish on a lot of weed.
Yeah. Yeah, they actually look a little bit...
If you bred weed with a starfish, you've got an aloe vera plant.
Yeah. But also useful for...
Cannafish.
Stuff that you do with aloe vera. I don't know. When you get sunburn.
Star abyss.
What else? What else does aloe vera? Is it good for? Like when you get sunburn.
It's calming, isn't it? Yeah. Soothing. You can ingest it as well. It's gut health. It's good for gut health.
Fancy a snack?
Good. Yeah, have a nibble.
Yeah, have a little.
It's walking around showing you people around. So this is the toilet. It's bathroom. There's a plant you can nibble on. If you're feeling a bit down, have a num. Yeah, just take a bit.
What about?
I don't know. Plants, man. There's one downstairs. I've had it 3 days. It nearly died already.
Really?
Some of them are just pathetic. They need watering every day. And then he gets to the point where you go, I've watered it every day. And he goes, oh, you've overwatered it. Well, piss off.
Yeah. We had one. I don't know what it was called. And then it got some like disease.
From in your house?
No, I think it had it when we got it. Nice. And because there was like 4 of them and they were all woven together. And then that like
4 different plants?
No, it was the same plant, but like 4 different
bits.
4 different ones of the same plant that
welcome to Gardener's
World.
They
wove in together. But then like one of them died or started dying and then passed it on to the other one. Now we've got 2 left of the original 4. So they're not woven, they're literally just next to each other, but in like a squiggly line pattern.
Well, I've got 3 leafy things my mum bought me and a cactus.
Yeah, we know fucking nothing about... Did I say about when I got given
There's one outside as well. Have you seen that one outside that my mother made me plant? All this crap. It is like a twig with bits of green on it. Like lots of twigs of green on it. That's the shittest plant ever. And it's in this huge pot that costs money. She's like, yes, but it will flower again. Will it? Will it? Because sometimes, Mum, you have a garden full of things that's supposed to flower. And this year they just chose not to. Like, that is a rude ass thing. You're making it. You just sat there feeding it, watering it, and everything. And this one year goes, nah.
Just doesn't perform.
No, screw you. I'm just swapping you out for concrete and a basketball net.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not even going to like outdoor plants yet. I'm going to figure my shit out indoors.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
What have I got outside? What were those ones? Tulips in those big pots. Did you see them ever during the summer? Well, let me give you. Here's how tulips work. You plant them. You buy 4 big pots. You get the fertilizer. You get filthy. You have to replant them, repot them. You cultivate them, and then they spruce. There's little fly buzzing around. It's like one of those little fruit flies. And then they spruce and they bloom, and you're like, oh, worth it. And then 3 days later, a strong wind comes away, and you're left with 4 green sticks sticking out the soil. And you're like, fuck you, tulips, you pathetic. How did they survive in the wild? Literally. 2 days of strong wind, all the petals flew off in the first day. In the second day, there was anything that was left over, any little thing. Oh, and hanging baskets as well. Fucking hell. In the summer, go water those bastards twice a day. Oh, and put them in too much sun, they immediately die. And every single one of mine's died now. Even the one that was doing well in the shade, finally just went, no more. So they're not even more than yearly. They just like put it up. You basically fight off death as long as you can.
That's what it is, isn't it? I think that's why a lot of people find it rewarding having plants, though, because they like keep this thing alive.
I'd rather get a fish tank.
Yeah. Personally, I would as well, because you can't. They don't really provide any entertainment other than looking at them and going, "Oh, that's quite nice." But how long do you like stand and look at a plant?
Well, if it's a tulip, 2 days before the wind comes.
Yeah, but you didn't stand there the whole 2 days as well.
No.
If you added up the appreciation time of that tulip, it's probably 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And you worked on you were with like fucking keeping that thing alive for like a year.
Yeah, the instructions I had to follow from Mother Dearest to make these things bloody bloom for a whole 2 days.
So it's just a different breed of person. Some people are plant people.
My mum's a plant person.
Yeah, my nan and granddad are plant people, and like
they might become pod people. Maybe that's it. Maybe they're the ones that will be lucky when the plants finally take over after the apocalypse.
Yeah, they'll be like, you looked after us, we'll look after you.
That'll be it.
Yeah, they won't look after us.
We get fucked.
Yeah, we'll be
put inside a cactus.
We'll be put in a cage and hung up, and then just left to dry out.
Yeah, they'll
like, this is what you did to our brothers.
They'll just dehumidify us.
Yeah, we're just hanging in a hanging basket cage, just there going, water, please.
And they'll be like, no.
Yeah, if you want nutrients, get it from the sun.
Yeah, like you left us in. Yeah. See how it feels having no water for 3 days, bitch. Yeah. Then you've got and it'll be like roses will be around the base of the cages, so it'll look really pretty, but they'll be alive, so they'll be thorning us every day, just stabbing you in your bottom soles of your feet with their little thorny branches.
Yeah, that's definitely
blooming from our blood.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen when the plant apocalypse.
Screw it, I'm killing more. I'm making it worth it.
We're
taking as many with me.
Yeah, we're going to make sure.
I'm going over to the neighbours with a golf club.
To be honest, I think the way everything's going, I think we're as a species, I think we're taking out the planet fairly efficiently. So I don't know whether this plant apocalypse is going to happen.
No, it's a pipe dream.
Yeah. The plants
are
still
dream.
Yeah, the plants are dreaming about it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Right,
we're officially fucking.
Now we've got over our garden as well moment. Fucking flying kids and gardens. Jesus, that was a start. Let's open up the crew chest and see what we're drinking today. In this one, is a little bit of a tasty looking one. I mean, that is a sexy ass bottle, and it is. Is it Maker's Mark?
It is.
This, if you're not watching on Spotify or YouTube, which I don't know why, because we got all the bloody effort of videoing these things, and trust me, it's a pain in the dick, so please watch the videos. It's wax sealed with a big old red wax seal that's dripping all the way down the bottle, and it looks cool.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to say, this is a 45%er, so it's strong. You said it's a really good, solid bourbon, but I think when I went to Salford to film, what was I filming? What was I doing up there? Oh, I was doing the
My Protein?
No, it was the Slater's men's health campaign.
Yes, yeah, it was before that, wasn't it?
We went out for drinks afterwards, and I was in there, and I thought I'd look at some bourbon. I said, what bourbons they got? And the Maker's Mark was on there, and I remember we'd heard about it, so I'll try that. I remember it kicking my head because I thought it was going to be quite easy going, a bit like Gentleman or So it's strong. So I'm interested to see if this is what I ordered or whether I ordered something like Marcus Bake.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just Dave from behind the bar's homebrew.
Yeah, but I think so. Obviously, Maker's Mark's a pretty big brand. Like
it's American.
It's one of the biggest for bourbons. And I saw something. Basically, they're that large. Their production is that large, and obviously they have their raw product and then they barrel it, and then it stays in the barrel for like 5 to 7 years. So at any one time, they've got 1 million barrels.
Holy shit!
Yeah, at any one time.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
what,
that's
5
the
to 6
scale.
years? Did you say
5 to 7?
5 to 7?
I think it's 5.5 to 7.
That's
years.
how long they leave it.
Yeah,
Jesus, it's investment, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. Because
where would you start? Right? Would you start 5 years ahead, or would you have to get pre-aged stuff in to start with, and then just begin yours as you start?
And I think you just, I think you just have to start and sit on it.
Sit for 5 years. Like, it's coming.
Yeah.
Not yet.
You betcha.
And like shitloads of it evaporates off as well from within the barrels.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to keep topping it up.
Yeah, I was listening to a little video talking about Maker's Mark and the kind of the process that they go through with it, and it's basically not changed at all.
That's
in the
cool,
last
though.
like
I like that.
I think it came about in the 30s or 40s, and yeah, apparently at the time there was like 30s, 40s, 50s, like whiskey got a real kind of reputation as the dad or the granddad drink, and it was like it kind of was losing popularity between the younger generation, and then the whiskey industry in general kind of switched to this like light whiskies, which are just they're formed slightly differently, but they were originally going to call them bourbons, and then I think it was the American government that actually like stepped in somehow to like change, like they basically created criteria. Like a bourbon has to be in a white oak barrel, but it has to be a brand new one, so they can't reuse the barrels.
The cast barrel companies going out of business because if you sit on it for 5 or 6 years, you're not buying any new barrels.
Yeah.
So that's why the government implemented that. We learned that. That was a history. We learned that from the dudes in the shop in Shrewsbury.
Yeah. So
well, this one says, it does say some stuff on the side, but it doesn't say year. What it says is, Maker's Mark, America's handmade bourbon whiskey, all started because my grandfather, Bill Samuel Sr., a 6th-generation Kentucky distiller, didn't care for whiskey his family made. Fucking shit, he said. Not drinking that crap in my house. So
that damn piss water.
There you go. In 1953, he burned the family recipe, literally, and started over. His taste vision was a soft, rich, creamy, full-bodied yet balanced bourbon. Meanwhile, my grandmother, Margie, Jesus Christ, this is like a death thing in this, passed away. She was busy designing the bottle you're holding. In fact, it was her idea to hand dip every bottle in red wax. She was kinky.
Yeah.
Margie was kinky. I bet she just had a load of red wax kicking around.
I bet she really underestimated. It was just like she didn't think this through. She was just like, oh yeah, we'll knock out 5 bottles. Yeah, we'll hand dip them 1 million barrels later.
Yeah.
She's still there. Please stop making me dip them in wax.
Shut up, Margie, and dip the damn bottle.
All day, all night, just dipping those bottles in wax.
To this day, making Maker's Mark in small quantities, 1 million barrels.
Yeah.
Small quantities, my butt. A little at a time is still a family affair. Enjoy. And it's signed by Rob Samuel. But on the other side, they've put something a little bit, anytime you're in the neighborhood, stop by and visit us at our distillery near Loretto, Kentucky. And it's a beautifully restored home, apparently. So you can just go to the actual original home where the distillery is where they make it. Just rock up and be like, you got some pie? I want pie and whiskey.
They don't give you the address, so it's impossible to find. But
yeah, it just said, it gives you like a little treasure map. It's near Loretto in Kentucky.
You've got a picture
off your pop.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can find it, fucking crack on. Well, I'll make you a pie.
Oh, lovely. Right, let's get this bad boy open. Yeah. And then I think we're going to follow up. We're going to do a few more of the questiones.
Yeah.
Because we get so many in, we're actually going to make our way through them all.
Yeah.
But I also do want to discuss one thing I've been getting a lot of chat about. Nothing crazy.
I like that. It reminds me of a Baby Bell.
I was just about to say it's like a cheese wrapper. Yeah.
So they've got like a little paper strip in there so you can de-wax it way easier than some of them, because some of them you just fucking battling with it.
Off,
But yeah, it literally just comes off like a Baby Bell.
It is literally Baby Bell. I suppose that is a Baby Bell. I like Baby Bells.
I do as well.
What's your favourite cheese?
I love all cheese. Yeah, but it doesn't like me.
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
Lactose intolerant.
Have you got some lactolase?
Yeah. Right. It's still I don't have it on me. As in, like,
I just carry it.
Cheese board
I carry it in a hip flask.
I've just got IV drip of top like lactese or whatever the fuck they're called, the different brands.
That wax isn't coming off, but the lid comes off as a screw. It's not a cork.
Was that what you were pulling on it?
Yeah, I was pulling at it thinking it was a cork. It's a screw.
You know?
It's a screw lid.
Oh,
so we've got no cheeky pop to test today.
Go on, Lex, I'll let you do the cheeky pop with you.
Oh yeah, that was my right. I just also like to say I've not got my brace or cast on my arm anymore. But please don't underestimate the severity of what I've gone through just because I'm making it look like it's all right. So torn biceps are a real issue, and a lot of people who message me who've had torn things or getting their MRIs and stuff recently. Yeah. Just be really careful with it. Yeah. I know my own body, so I'm allowing it out of the brace as much as possible whilst I'm at home. But if I go out, it's in the brace. Yeah. Like it's in the sling or the brace. So yeah, just because I'm getting a few people messaging me, loads of people, dude. One dude's torn his pec and shoulder. Another guy did jiu-jitsu. Yeah. Went tournament, ripped his bicep in the tournament. And they still haven't operated on him. And he's a week down the line. He's already been in. This is just goes to show how fast they were with me and how good they were. Yeah. This dude's been waiting a week and he's not even been scanned yet.
Fucking hell.
And it's like, if you get over 2 weeks, the surgery becomes less and less effective because what happens is when the tendon rips away from the bone, it obviously shoots up the arm, but then the visceral edges of the tendon begin to harden because well there's no blood supply going to them because it's ripped away, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like them crispy bits at the edge of bacon when it's been in the fridge a bit too long.
It dries out a little bit.
Yeah, that's basically what goes onto your tendon.
This does smell delicious. Oh. That's a real.
You didn't do it in front of
didn't do it in front of the thing because I only got one arm. I can't really hold the two. See if it does it again for you. You poured it well too. How did you expect? You just upended it.
Don't blame me. You had the best moments of that pour.
That you'll hear that on the mic. That was so gurgly. That is because it's got such a long neck. That is the best gurgle. It might not have a cheeky pop, but it's got a great gurgle.
It does.
Yeah, lovely.
Didn't even sniff it actually.
I did. It smells really.
Ooh.
Yeah, it smells kind of. But you smell the strength on that though.
Yeah, it does smell. It smells
it's potent.
Like a potent brew.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hot. Is that one? But you can smell kind of all the.
That smells really nice. That's like there's something to that. I can't put my finger on it. There's almost like a bit of like.
Is that sweetness that you get from a bourbon? You can smell the sweetness, almost the honey kind of. But you can smell the cast of wood in it That's like a sweet wood. It smells like a sweet wood.
Yeah, they said the barrels are charred to a level 4 because there's different levels of char out of 5.
Is that a lot of char or little char?
Yeah, that's a good amount of char.
That's a high char.
Yeah, that's where their sweet spot is. But the video I was watching, they literally did like a full kind of tour of the whole process. They went through the barrel making place, and all the charring, and then the raw products because they use more rye instead of.
Yeah, but if you got more rye, that gives you a bit more of the spice kind of kick to it.
I'm sure.
Which is probably why it did kick my ass a little bit.
There was one of the things that they normally put in it. They swapped out with something else. Sorry, I'm not more informative, but yeah, it was slightly different.
Well, you've got barley, corn, and rye, don't they? That they make it with, like a malt barley, corn, or rye, and so it goes. I think it's barley, corn, rye in that order. Of the hotter it gets, the more they use of in that order. So, but we had it last week when it was more of a rye blend, but it was still really smooth. And the heat was a warming, not like a kicked heat. Yeah. Whereas I remember this one being a bit of a kicker, but that might be because of the fact it's on that charred level as well.
Yeah,
it's
possibly.
Going to be different. It's going to be a little bit more. I suppose not carbony, but there's going to be a bit more.
A bit of a kick.
Bit more kink.
Yeah.
But it's going to make. Well, think of it. If you barbecue something that's spicy, it gives it an extra oomph, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it like the flavours kind of play together. With it, they literally let the guy sample. I think they call it white dog, which is basically, and it's like the clear alcohol before, because it's completely clear. Then it gets put in the cask, which gives it its colour and a lot of the flavour. And this was at like 60-odd%. It was quite a high percentage because they then dilute it using river from their stream.
From their stream?
Water from their stream. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, you fucking heard me.
They use fucking rivers from the stream.
Yeah, they use rivers. They reroute the river through the stream and then up the road,
and that's the corner. Magic. The fucking cross of the stream and the river. It's like Ghostbusters. When they cross their streams, fucking magic.
Fucking just like it. Yeah. Water. That's what I fucking said.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Clear,
didn't hear
pure
anything else.
fucking mountain water.
So they dilute it to the percentage that they want. But anyway, the guy had tried it when it was this like white dog, so no smoky flavour from the barrel. It literally just a raw product, and he was like, it was actually really nice. He said really surprised, and he thought it was going to be way.
I suppose it'd be like a vodka, like that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like what more of those light whiskies were like. They're much lighter in colour, higher percentage, but that's what they were trying to make like the new trendy kind of thing, which now never caught on really. Yeah. But apparently, like at the time when whiskies were like leaning towards this direction to try and
jazz them up,
get a younger audience, Maker's Mark were just like,
what else was big at the time?
No, we're just going to do that.
No.
Well, apparently then, like I think again that was. It was after, I'm sure they said it happened in like the 20s and 30s, and then 40s and 50s is when it really started to kick in. I don't know.
That was 20s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or was it just before? Al Capone.
Hold on. He's going to fucking do it again,
I was going to do it again. My God, that's an automatic response. Right. We're now going to try it. No, hang on. We're going to tell you what we're going to go on. Mate, bastard. I just breathed that into my mouth and it's freaking booming. I can taste the fumes. Yeah. It's good if he stopped me then. I thought I was in trouble for something else, and then I realised the glass is at my mouth.
Yeah.
That's bad, isn't it? Yeah, we're going to talk about some stuff to do with simple questions and things that people keep sending me in that obviously people still believe. And because we're in this little fitness community, we forget that some people still believe something. So we're going to cover things like reducing fat in like your belly and like problem areas for fat and things like that. Have a chat about that, and also want to just supplements a real broad little skim over what you should essentially order, because obviously this is your cyber week to be ordering all that stuff. I thought it'd be a good idea to get you guys just, and then New Year's coming, everyone has the resolutions, they'll start doing stuff and they don't know what to order. We'll cover that as well, just briefly. Yeah. Then we're also going to finish off the questions from last week, aren't we?
Yes.
Right, now let's try this. Chin chin, sir. Right. I'm telling you now, I remember this. If it's the same one, blew my head off because I took too much. Yep, that's the one. Wow. Yeah, you can taste the alcohol.
There's a bit of a delay and then
it's a smooth alcohol, but it's like, it's almost like when you take in, if you've had mint and then you breathe cold air in.
Yeah.
It's the same effect, isn't it? You get that mentally kind of hit.
It took me like a second or two before it kind of kicked in. And then, it is
there's not a lot of sweetness to that at all.
No, it smells a lot sweeter.
It's quite, what's the word? What is it? It is woody. With that, and then
it's not nasty at all, but it's a little bit on the harsher side, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely on that spicy, hotter.
Second sip's better.
Yes, but there's no. It's like there's only two levels of it. There's the kind of the sweet kind of but woody taste to it, and then that alcohol overtone. But there's no third. There's no depth on that flavor. It's just the two things. So if you like them not being too sweet, it's definitely a sipper, and it's warming.
Yeah,
warming.
Again,
you wouldn't want to drink that in the middle of the day.
No, definitely not. I think that's another campfire one for me.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice one to enjoy by a...
We'll see how it tastes by the time we get down to the bottom once the ice has melted into it a bit as well.
Yeah.
We'll see where it goes.
I think that's okay. It's not my favourite,
They're not that expensive though, is it?
It was literally 25 quid.
Yeah, like so 26 quid. That's good for that money.
Yeah.
That blows other shit out of the water for that money.
Definitely. Yeah, because apparently Maker's Mark used to be like a really pricey one, and they kind of prided themselves on the fact that they were like 3 or 4 times more expensive than other bourbons. But obviously, times have changed. Yeah. when they're churning out a million barrels at a time.
Your cost price can go down, can't it? Let's get in with the question. First one is, reducing belly fat or problem areas of fat. Lewis, what's your super majestic wizard exercise that does this?
You need to wear one of them little
prepare first yourself, because when you do this, when you say it out loud, you will become a billionaire.
Okay, all right. The way to reduce belly fat is to get one of those little belts that electrocutes your stomach, and just wear that. You don't need to do anything else.
But do it fasted.
Yeah. And you got to rub the gel on first.
Rub the gel on. Do it fasted, and do it for 20 minutes in the morning.
Yeah.
And you believe. You have to truly believe.
You have to visualize the abs.
You visualize the fat melting.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so the real answer can't be fucking done.
Nope.
We all have different spots. We're all genetically, so obviously we all have our areas. So for me, it's like my lower back, around the back, not so much around the sides. Although when he before, obviously over time as well, what will happen is your body, if you keep training and your diet stays consistent and you control it and you gain and you cut and you gain and you cut well each time, and you don't crash diet or crash gain or dirty gain even.
Yeah.
Your body will look better over time and tighter as your muscle development, maturity gets better over time. Your muscle gets denser, and people did used to say that you can't redistribute fat. I completely disagree with this, because I have dieted down to show level and then come back up and had fat areas not go back on, like on my triceps. It just didn't go back on there afterwards. They stayed feathered even into heavy gains.
Yeah.
So
no, I've seen that with a few people. They've said like they get to certain levels of leanness and then it just
you have to come out controlled though from a diet phase. But anyway, it's too deep. Let's get back to the bit before we tangent too far. You cannot spot reduce fat. It doesn't happen. Think about it. What hand are you? Right or left?
Right.
Same with me. Our right side is not skinnier than our left side, and we use it probably 10 times more.
Yeah.
So if spot fat reduction was a thing, whatever side you
leaner than the other.
One side, leaner than the other. It just doesn't happen. Your body, everything your body does is within a balance. You can't trick it. You can't outsmart it. It will counter everything you do unless you fuck with hormones. Yeah. In which case you're basically adding nitrous into the system. You know. So your body will lose fat equally everywhere. Now people are going to be like, but Mr. Losing Legs, when I lose fat, it goes from my face first and not my belly. Explain to people why that is.
Because you're training your face.
Because you talk too much. You join in the gym.
Just like in general, people think that they're going to be able to target a certain muscle group. Like actually, I had this exact conversation with somebody yesterday?
Yeah.
And she was unable to wrap her head around the fact that you can train a muscle in an area and the muscle grows, but you train a muscle in an area but the fat doesn't come off from that area. She just like couldn't understand
just wouldn't grasp it.
Yeah. And like I kind of get it, because people not understanding the mechanisms of how you lose fat and how you build muscle. But yeah, I just can't believe that's such a misconception.
The big thing is muscle and fat are two completely different biological entities. Here's a thing as well. We'll get onto that. Remind me to say what's the thing you were going to say before, and just remind me butter and meat. Okay. So the reason you would lose weight more on your face first than maybe on your gut is because your face holds less fat genetically around your skull. There's less fat there in most humans, other than the odd prop from your rugby team that you all know. So what happens is you lose fat evenly as a percentage over your whole body. But you're going to notice, say, if you lose 5% of your whole body, you're going to notice 5% from an area that holds less fat than 5% in an area that holds more fat, because it's just going to be more noticeable for the simple fact. Like if I have 2 cubes of sugar on my left-hand side and 100 cubes of sugar on my right-hand side, losing 50% from the left-hand side leaves me with 1 cube. Losing 50% still leaves me with a pile on the right-hand side. So you're going to think, well, I've lost more than left. Yeah. It's the stupidest way of visualizing it. Yeah. But basically, your body will lose it evenly everywhere. Now, everyone has stubborn parts, and if you've been fat for a long time as well.
I don't think it does lose it. It's like saying you lose it evenly, that's definitely simplifying it. It wouldn't be like exactly the same. No. And you are going to still have those stubborn areas sometimes, and people will notice. Not all the time, but normally the places that the fat goes to first is often the places where it comes off last.
Yes. But that again, that's just because there's more in that area.
Yeah.
So that's the last place to get through to the leanness of the rest of the body. But there are other. This is simplifying it right down to the base level. But if you imagine the body will just lose fat evenly through the whole body as a percentage, you'll lose 10% from everywhere. Now areas with less fat that you hold genetically in those areas will look leaner faster. You just have to keep pushing through. And the way you do that is with a consistent calorie deficit diet that is catered towards supporting muscle mass. And that means having an adequate amount of protein every day. And now I'm going to give you real basic numbers. If you're a female, aim for somewhere between 135 to 150 grams of protein a day. If you're a male, aim anywhere from 150 to 200. If you hit 180 as a male, you're golden pretty much. Yeah. Even if you're a big boy.
Yeah. I've got away with less than that in the past. And I definitely think there is, you can't, unless you're shitting yourself regularly, there's not necessarily any negatives from pushing that number a little bit higher, especially if you are in a calorie deficit. It's probably even more important to get that protein a little bit higher. You just want to give your body as much potential to hold on to that muscle, because obviously the last thing you want to do is like
your body works on signals.
Muscle mass.
If you're providing your body with high protein, and then you can either go low carb, higher fat, or you can go higher carb, lower fat. You can't go high carb, high fat. Yeah. And you definitely don't want to go low carb, low fat, because then what you're doing is taking the batteries out of the toy. It just won't run. Yeah. Your body will shut down. You have to feed weight loss. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but the idea of dieting is to eat as much as possible while still losing weight. Yeah. That is the goal. Yeah. So you only ever need to be... people say 500 calories below your base. Yep. I don't do that. What I do is I'll go 300 below and just start my cardio and see how it feels. And then I'll just wait until there's a plateau point, and we'll discuss how you go through plateaus and how you monitor your weight after this in a second. And then I'll adjust then. But you weighing yourself day to day isn't the way to go about it. And we'll cover that as well. But so what you're looking to do is have a consistent daily deficit akin to your activity level. Now, if you reduce your activity levels over time, you have to adjust your diet. Mm-hmm. So it all plays in with one another. So your lifestyle, everything that goes like that. But the longer you do this, and the better you get at it, the better your body will adapt to it as well. Yeah. So say you've been in a really good shape for a long time and then you get fat, you'll get back into shape pretty damn quick, because you have what you call muscle memory. Now, this isn't a real thing. Like, your muscles don't sit around making notes.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But what happens is, as you get fitter, as you develop more muscle, you create more satellite cells within the muscle tissue, and their job is to shuttle the glycogen into the muscles, help you build and refuel and shuttle those nutrients in there. Now, if you lose all your muscle, or you get fat and stop training or whatever, those satellite cells do not go away. They still remain from when they're created. Jesus, look, fruit fly. He's a ninja. I can't get him.
Oh, he's over there now. He's fucked off.
Oh, buggers. They come from that's been on the plant, that has. It's on the plants. I got them off one and they moved to another one. I don't know what they're called.
The plants. We'll film it and send it to your mum.
Oh, what the hell was the thing? For the fruit fly room, my train of thought.
Satellite cells.
Oh, so the satellite cells, yeah. The more you train, the fitter you get, the more of these, and the more muscle you develop, the more of these satellite cells you create, and they never dissipate, which is, they never, what's the word?
They just
dissipate's the wrong word. That was means that they just spread around. Yeah, they never degenerate. They don't deteriorate. They don't disappear. They don't. So what happens is the moment you start training again and eating properly, the fuel supply for your muscles to get back into shape quickly is already there. You've opened the gates for the nutrients and everything to get straight back into the muscle and help it grow again. That is the most basic way of describing it. So over time, your body becomes more efficient, and that's why you look better over time. And if you control your diet and another thing is to not look at dieting as an 8-week thing. So anything you see that's like 12 weeks this, 8 weeks that, secret tea this, super belt that, load of shite. Day-to-day consistencies of just being in a calorie deficit, that is where you're eating as much as you can while still losing weight. Now,
yeah, it's the accumulation over time, isn't it? And obviously it depends on where your starting point is. Yes, you could get relatively lean in 8 weeks, 12 weeks, if you're already starting off kind of lean. Yeah. And even if you're not, you can still drop a lot, but are you doing it in a healthy, maintainable way? Probably not. You know,
because you're not going to be able to maintain that same diet for the other 40 weeks of the year. So you're going to inevitably rebound out of it. Yeah. And anyway, it's just not the best way.
Wins the race.
Always. I used to take 20 to 25 weeks really slow dieting, and it never got hard until like the last 3 weeks. Yeah. And that's when you started to do the more extreme grind to really pull bits in, because you're going to that extreme level. But up until like I'd say 5 weeks out, didn't even get real brain fluff or nothing. It was just nice. You just ease your way in. Yeah. Training stayed high. Everything, weights kept going up. It was progression through dieting. Whereas there was an old school theory of dieting is hell. Yeah. And if it's not, I remember Jay Cutler said a saying, unless you feel like death when you're stepping on stage, you haven't done it hard enough. Yeah. I was just like, that is... I looked at it at the time, I was like, yeah, bodybuilding. Because that was the thing, yeah, hardcore, grumpy in the gym, dieting to look great, but you're an asshole and you sleep everywhere and you fall asleep at any moment you sat down. Yeah. It's just nonsense. You shouldn't be like that. No. Dieting should be a healthy thing.
Right. Well, up until the last few weeks, pretty much.
When you got even going for a show, even up until the last few weeks, I did it macros wise. I was still having barbecues, eating sausages and white bread and shit. That's how I started my YouTube career.
Yeah,
because I was a week out from a show having a barbecue with white bread, ketchup, and sausages, and people were just like bullshit.
Yeah,
and I ate it on camera, and they're like, no.
Yeah, but that's it though. That's the beauty of it. If it fits your macros.
But alongside that, I was doing egg white porridge with protein chucked in it, and everything was weighed to within a gram.
People like, because I think that the same as everything, the fucking table swung one way, and everyone was just like, oh, once they realised if it fits your macros worked. So then people were just fucking eating ice cream and whatever, and then they were not realising that it's not just your macros that you got to pay attention to. You've got to get your micronutrients in as well as that.
And you have to have it so it's balanced so that you're not crashing through the day with sugar highs and sugar lows.
Yeah.
So your energy for your workouts, you're not getting moody.
Yeah. It basically meant that, like, you are allowed to save a little bit of calories in the tank for something that's nice. Yeah. That's completely fine.
Yeah, just during the day you were out somewhere, you thought, I really want this, or on a day you're craving something. You can have it as long as you're willing to burn the macros on it.
Yeah, or pay for it the day after.
I would sacrifice 8 grams of fat a day to have Synth 6 peanut caramel protein in my porridge.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fat for me to sacrifice because at the time I was only on around 55 grams.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Get that fruit fly. Get it. I believe in you. Yes!
No!
Oh,
where is this motherfucker?
Oh my God, he's an absolute ninja.
Oh God.
That dude's on caffeine. He has snorted some caffeine.
I don't know how he's done that.
He's toying with us. Fucker. Yeah, the main thing I want to take away from that is, so all you need to do to start losing fat is get your basic level of calories that you think you need a day. And you can go on, there's some really good online calculators that people can use.
Give you a baseline.
Just to give you a ballpark to get in. That's all you need. Because from there, what you're going to do, I've given you, you can break your macros down like this as well. You can do, here's the thing. I prefer high fat. So I would go high protein, high fat, lower carb. That would be my option. So my percentage breakdown, if you want to go that way, would be, I think I had it as 20% carbs, 30% fat, 30% protein, and 50% fat. So it's quite high on the fat. But that would still give me an adequate 180 odd grams of protein.
Yeah.
Or if it wouldn't, I'd just bump that up and obviously take away what was necessary, jiggle it around.
Yeah. I'm the other way around. I go high carb.
See, I would find
I can't function on low carbs.
Yeah, you see, I find that if I go higher carb and lower fat, I have real crash points during the day. Really? Yeah, real highs and lows. Whereas the fat's so satiating and slower to break down as well. Once you get in the rhythm of it after about 2 weeks, your brain doesn't go weird. You don't get mood swings. You're much happier. People genuinely noticed it in me when I switched to high fat.
I think I've never given it a fair chance at like an extended period of time, but for me, it's just easy. For me, it's easier to do because a lot of the food that I enjoy is carb based.
See, I find the high fat approach easier when you're going out to eat as well because you can remove carbs from a meal real easy. Yeah. Can't take fat's a motherfucker to get out.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. But again, like 95% of the time, I'm not eating out.
Even on my low carb days, on low carb days. Sorry, even when I do high fat low carb, my carbs are still around like 150. So it's not like dog shit. It's not dog shit. Like, it's not talking 50 grams or anything crazy. Yeah. But the main thing is you want a high protein diet, but you need to monitor your diet. This is the big thing. You can't just piss into the wind and expect it to be.
MyFitnessPal is your friend.
MyFitnessPal. Oh, fucking get.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you got it.
Yes.
We got it.
I really felt my arm. Worth it.
I've just took the bicep.
Did you see how I clapped then? I deliberately bent my arm up and was like, nyeh. I clapped like Louis from freaking, what is it called? X Factor. With his stupid seal clap. That guy's definitely a pedo. Anyway, most of the nation went, yes, definitely. So that is the best way to do it. So your high protein, your choice whether you want to go moderate fat and carb, low carb, high fat, or high carb, low fat. You have to play and see. But I would say give yourself at least 3 weeks, whichever way you choose to do it, because you have to see how it fares with your lifestyle, work, and all that jazz. Yeah. Now, the weighing yourself. Or do you want to say anything else on that?
Yeah, all I was going to say is obviously we spoke about the importance of the macronutrients and the breakdown of it, but that's not necessarily what the mechanism of losing the fat is. That's not how you lose fat. That's how you maintain enough muscle mass and function on a daily basis. The mechanism that's going to actually get you to drop fat is the calories.
Yes.
That's the crucial thing. And for people that don't know what a calorie is, people have heard of calories. Everyone's heard of calories, but it's a unit of measurement for energy. So you put calories in by putting stuff in your face. Food, you put calories out by existing as a person, by exercising, by thinking. There's lots of things that kind of burn. Basically, all of your bodily functions expend calories.
So you'll have a base level for calories to just sit, live, and breathe.
Yeah.
And then obviously on top of that, you've got movement, work, training, and everything.
Yeah.
So the more you do, the more your food allowance you get.
Yeah, exactly. A huge amount of your daily calories is expended just via your brain, just like brain function. That consumes quite a lot of calories. Not necessarily to the point where you can just think really hard and you're going to get shredded, unfortunately, because obviously we are cognitive throughout the day, no matter what. Like, unless you aren't, because you're in a coma, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, so like just because you're thinking more, or you know, it's not going to make much of a noticeable difference.
Ignore that bit. Just move on. Let's go. It's moving and
moving, exercising, your daily movement as well, your step count, all that kind of stuff is fucking crucial. Yeah,
and start simple. So with your movement, start simple. Just move more. Just move more, eat less. That will make you lose weight. And if you say it doesn't work, it's because you're still eating too much and moving too little.
Yeah, if you can't add up these two numbers, because that's literally, if you wanted to really simplify it, the calories that go in, the energy that goes into your body versus the energy that goes out of your body. And in terms of like, how do I work out what the energy that's going out of my body is? Because that's hard, because every day is slightly different. Even if you spent 2 days back to back in bed, and then some had a machine that would calculate exactly your calories, they'd still be a bit different. Yeah. Because there's too many variables to have something exactly the same.
Maybe had Pornhub on full screen, maybe you only had it on small screen. There's going to be a difference.
Exactly. One of the ways that I kind of do recommend people use is basically to weigh themselves on a daily basis if you can be asked, and then work out the average.
So this is where we're moving to next.
Add them together, divide them up. So if you did it 7 days a week, weigh yourself every single day, divide it by 7, that is your average weight for that week.
And that is the biggest important factor. Day-to-day weight, it's not that it doesn't matter, it's the fact that it only matters towards your average. You're going to fluctuate day to day, especially if you're at a bigger starting point. You've got a lot of weight to lose. Because if you're a bigger human being as well, you're going to have more water retention. If you don't hydrate one day, you're going to fluctuate up to 5 pounds easy.
Women as well, time of month, that can play massively.
Stress, these all play a factor, which is why the average of a week is more important than day to day. Day to day will drive you insane and make you want to kill yourself, or make you feel like you've done a really hard day, and then you'll go and weigh yourself the next morning and you'll have gone up. And as a woman or a man, maybe, I don't know, but I know women suffer because I think women have a more negative relationship with scales than men, because it's been drilled into them harder over the decades of weighing a certain amount, whereas I don't think men have really had that issue.
No, and
with
I do
men,
think
weight's only been up.
No, yeah, and I do think women have these more acute differences in weight because of the period and things like that, and it can be huge, these differences, and it really fucks with people, and
especially visual as well for women when they're on the period, because they get bloated and water retention. So
guys,
these are all things. This is where averages take away all of this like bullshit, and they give you a realistic look at where you're at. So your 7-day average versus 7-day average is what you do. So you take your 7 days and then you carry on, and then you measure it against your next 7 days. Has your weight gone up on the average compared to the last average or not? Has it gone down? If it's gone down, you're doing everything right, and you just carry on. Don't change shit.
Yeah. Sometimes you can literally stagnate for several weeks at a time, and your weight's like kind of plateaued. Keep plugging away. If maybe if you've gone more than 3 weeks, I would imagine then yes, you might need to up your energy expenditure or reduce your calories. But sometimes you can literally have 2 weeks of being in a deficit and your weight's not moving in the direction you want it to. It's either stagnated or up and down.
There's reasons for that as well. So I think we're jumping ahead a bit there. So you're on your 7-day averages and you're weighing those. If you're trying to lose weight and your weight drops, your average reduces from one to the other, then you just keep going the same. Nothing changes. If it plateaus, stays the same, or goes up, then you adjust. Now you either adjust more activity or less calories, not both. Don't throw everything you've got in your rucksack of safety into the wind straight away. You don't throw all your playing cards on the table at once. You just do little by little and chip away, which is why I don't like the stringentness of an 8-week, 10-week, 12-week thing, because it makes people stress about time. Timelines on, you let your body do what it's going to do as it does it, and that will give you the most successful result. Now, as well, if you haven't dropped weight, you haven't wasted your time. you have still moved more. You've still put an effort in. You've still made a conscious effort towards getting healthier and getting fitter, and that is a benefit. You've also maybe just held a bit more water because now you start training, especially through the first 4 weeks, you're going to start retaining more glycogen because you're now physically working more. So the food which you take in, you can actually keep more of the glycogen within the muscle from that food, and that in itself is going to make you weigh more because you're going to hold more water. Because for every gram of glycogen you hold, or glucose, is it glucose or glycogen? The active form is glycogen, glucose is the stored form. Yeah. So for every gram of glucose or mill of glucose, I don't know which way they measure it. Do they measure it in grams?
Glucose would be, I imagine it would be in
mils, wouldn't it? For every, anyway, basically it's one for one. Every mill or gram of glucose, you're going to hold a mill of water because that's how we store it. It's actually attached to water molecules. So you pull that into the muscle as well. Which creatine is another thing. If you start taking creatine again makes you hold more water because it pulls more water into the muscle. Yeah. So all these are factors. So not only does the scale matter, the mirrors matter, measurements matter. So you need to be looking at yourself in the mirror. How do I look? Do I look better? Do I feel better? And measure yourself around your major points that you're hips, waist, chest, arms.
I definitely think to literally be on the safe side, if you can consistently do something for a month, and that is consistently weighing yourself, consistently tracking macros, after like 4 weeks, that's a perfect time then to be like, okay, do I need to readjust? If you haven't moved in the direction by 4 weeks, that's when you know, okay, I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
If it's not been 4 weeks, if it's been 3 weeks and things still aren't moving as you are, stay the course, carry on going.
Something would have moved though.
Yeah, you'll see some differences.
You should see some positivity, whether it's more energy level, feeling and looking tighter.
I'm talking about in terms of like their measurement, the scales haven't.
That's what I'm saying. So if you've got scale, measurement, and mirror, if one of them's going in the right direction, you're golden. Don't worry about it too much, because you're going to have these
photos are great
huge
as well.
Fluctuations. Yes,
crucial.
I always forget to do that, and that is a real good one because it removes your mind's eye from it.
Yeah, you see yourself probably, I would imagine, every single day, and
800 times a day if you're trying to lose weight as well, because people overanalyze themselves like fucking. That's another thing. Yeah. Don't get mirror blindness. Stay the fuck away from just grinding and looking at yourself in the mirror every fucking hour. Just is there anything?
Especially early on,
like crazy.
I remember when I first started training, because I was a skinny kid when I first started training, and I remember like getting home after training, I'd walk back and it was like a really snowy day, and I was walking back in a t-shirt because I was fucking hard as nails, and I got home and I went to the toilet to have a shit because I'd had some protein at the gym, which obviously made me nearly shit myself because at this point I didn't realise how bad my lactose intolerance was when I was 16.
Of course, you got double whammies because which protein will make you, the first week or so of having it will make you shit, but then that stops. So
myoplex it was. And anyway,
I don't remember that.
And I remember like looking in the mirror and I was like flexing, and I remember when I saw the first bit of a dip between my shoulder and bicep, because before my arm was just a straight line, and I was like, holy shit, that wasn't there before. When did that come up?
It's exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's really fun. But also that happens. It's rare that you'll get those like moments where you see a noticeable change. A lot of the time, you'll look in the mirror and think, I look exactly the same.
Until your friend who hasn't seen you for 3 weeks sees you and then goes, oh, you're looking good.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. The manager of the gym, Liam, so he had done a bit of training, but he mainly, like, he's my brother-in-law, he has experience in management, but really wanted to get into the gym as also a way to help him get in shape. And he's lost loads of weight. He's got loads stronger. Just in general, his fitness is way better. And he actually went to one of his friends', I think it might have been baby shower or something like that, the other day.
People he hadn't seen for a while.
Yeah, and they were all people when he used to be a manager at a game in Bullring, and
a well-known fitness spot.
Yeah, exactly. So like, and there was a couple of guys that lifted there, but most of them didn't lift at all. Yeah. And then literally he said like one of the guys came up to him and then just like poked him. Yeah, literally poked his chest and poked his arm and was just like, ooh, you've been training.
Feeling.
Well and he said it was great. It's like, people really were complimenting him, and he was like, and he felt like he'd made some great progress at the start, but things obviously, as they do, they slow down.
Yeah, it's not linear.
And and it took that for him to really get like that nice little confidence boost again.
That's how it happens.
You do need it.
I haven't seen you for a while,
and that's kind of what photos do. You forget where you were at. You see yourself every day, small little changes. And yeah, unless you are able to be like, oh, this is what I looked like last month. Holy shit, that's a massive difference. I didn't realise that.
Worth doing. Well worth weekly photos.
Yeah.
Weekly photos. So you've got your three mechanisms. You've got your three ones there to follow, and you should be doing all these. And so don't just weigh yourself in the morning, note it, and move the fuck on.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't dictate your day. It doesn't dictate your week. What that number is. All we care about is the average and whether the average versus the next average goes up or down, and then we adjust from there.
I've got one last kind of thing to touch on because, like, your body is looking for homeostasis. It's looking to level out. That's kind of what it wants to do.
That's what we talked about before with the balance, homeostasis. That's what it is.
When you're throwing everything at it, when you're dropping your calories drastically, when you're doing loads of cardio to up it massively, yes, you'll make some great progress at the start, but your body's always looking to level out. So at one point or another, fairly quickly, actually, surprisingly quickly, that's gonna level out, and you go, oh shit, I don't want to take my calories any lower because I've already dropped them to 1500. I don't want to run
anymore,
and I don't want to do more time. I don't want to do more cardio. Your body really does look for homeostasis, but fortunately, it also works on the inverse as well. I've got a client right now. He's an old friend of mine. I don't really look after many clients, but Guy. And initially, so he had never trained in his entire life. He's been with us just under a year, and he started off just wanting to build a bit of muscle, not have aches and pains just from his day job of like being sat at a desk all the time. Just look better and needed to drop some body fat. So we started off I didn't get him to track his calories at all at the start. Literally just got him into training. And the weight started coming off him. And then when that started to slow down, then we got him tracking his calories. And the lowest calories I had him on was 2,200. And then about probably 6 to 8 weeks ago, we basically are now transitioning into a kind of a mass gaining phase now. And I've been upping his calories quite consistently to the point now where we're 1,000 calories up and he's gained half a kilo.
Yeah, that's cool because it's firing up it's a weird thing that. Yeah. But what happens is because the body's now adapted to the fitness and in that deficit, it's now just taking in those calories like a motherfucker because he's upped his metabolism.
Yeah, and he's getting
stronger.
I'm
assuming you've not gone bang straight in the way in. What you've done is edge him back up in calories.
Yeah, literally will do.
And what that does is edge the metabolism up with it, especially if it's damaged before from being flatlined from not doing anything.
Yeah.
So if he's like a fresh baby metabolism, it'll just fly right up.
Yeah, it was literally like about 200. I think it was about 200 calories. Then left it a couple of weeks. His weight hadn't moved. 200 calories.
Most people will jump 500 calories a week to go up and up and wonder why they start getting fat.
Yeah, but
it doesn't need that much.
Literally, as of this week, he's at 3,200 calories, and he's not gained.
So if you can get him sat,
he's gained 0.4 of a kilo. I think is exactly what he's gained.
Yeah, if you get him sat at 3.5 as his baseline, that's a real comfortable level to be at.
Yeah, and like he's noticed the performance in the gym, like he's hitting new numbers that he's not hit before because he's got this surplus of calories now, get more nutrients in. He's still hitting a minimum of 180 grams of protein a day, but now he's also he's really enjoying it because he said it's just a brilliant problem to have.
Yeah,
and he still hits his macros that he needs, and I am relatively lax with him because he's just like, if at the end of the day if he's got calories, he's just like, I'll have a slice of cake.
Yeah, of course, because you can.
Yeah, because you can. It fits in his calories. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. That's.
And the more he lifts, if he's hitting PRs, he's developing new muscle, which in itself requires more calories to be sustained. So that's why his calories are going up, but he's not gaining tons and tons of weight. It's just what happens is the muscles are just filling out.
Yeah, and I said to him, I was like, at some point you're going to be hitting 4,000 calories, and he's like, nah.
You're 100%.
Yeah, you will.
You'll have to.
Yeah, I was like, I've been at 5,000 at some point, so I'm just like, you will definitely be hitting 4,000 calories.
And that's one of the biggest things is developing your metabolism over time. So if you crash diet, and like Lou said, it's homeostasis. Like you said that is what the body looks for. That's the balance of the body, and it will do that for everything. But what happens is if you crash diet, this is a big thing people think. You can look at a fridge and you can see there's a fridge and you know there's a fridge and your consciousness knows there's food in the fridge. Your body is not your consciousness. Your body is its own functioning little being that has not got eyes or a sense of knowing what food is in the house or near you. Yeah. So if you suddenly crash diet, all you're telling your body information-wise, signal-wise is, we're starving. So it goes, cool, I'll shut shit down so you don't die.
Yeah.
And what's the best source of energy for a body to hold on to?
What, in terms of muscle mass?
No, the best source to hold on to in starvation mode, fat.
Oh, yeah, just
because
you're going to keep fat.
1 gram of fat is 9 calories.
Yeah.
1 gram of muscle, 4.
Yeah.
1 gram of carb, 4. So it starts to chew up muscle
Yes.
to get glycogen, breaks your muscles down to amino acids and breaks those down into glycogen. That's when it's into full starvation mode.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. So then what it does is hold on to fat, which is why you see a lot of girls who don't eat a lot of food and they're like maybe a size 8 in a dress, but you look like you can put your finger right through them because they've got the muscle mass of a 2-year-old.
Yes.
So, and what happens then is they start eating and suddenly get real fat because they've got no muscle mass to absorb the calories. So it just goes into fat.
That's always a crucial thing as well. Like people think about when it comes to losing fat, it's just, do cardio. It's like, if you're not doing resistance training, you are going to be atrophying your muscles.
So big one to say.
Severely.
Yeah. Ladies, gentlemen, if you're to pick one thing over cardio or resistance training, it's resistance training. You'll actually burn more fat over time doing resistance training than you will cardio. You'll also develop muscle from the resistance training, which, ladies, doesn't make you massive. You do not have the hormonal capacity to develop masses of muscle. You don't have the testosterone to support it. Yeah, you could weight train until you're purple in the face and shitting yourself. You're not going to get hunker tanked unless you start taking testosterone. So don't worry about that. Lift weights, get toned. Do you know what toned is? Muscle.
Yeah. I've been training 13 years and I'm still not big.
I know. They say it like it's a problem. I don't want to get too big. Oh, yeah, because it's a fucking problem, that is.
Yeah.
Yo, do you remember those times, Lou, when you trained for a couple of weeks and got too big?
I hate it when I get too big.
Yeah. Fucking hell. It's a pain, isn't it? That balance between too big and all right.
Especially when I've got basically no testosterone in my system because I'm a woman. It's such a nightmare.
So
always happens.
Ladies, hit the weights and hit them hard, hit them where you're not going to get massive. You're going to get tight and you're going to look good.
Yeah, 100%. That is crucial.
You've burned fat from resistance training.
As well, objectively, if you're somebody coming into the gym for the first time or you're new, you are objectively weak. You're a weak person, muscular-wise. So the worst thing to do is then go and burn more muscle because then you're going to become even weaker.
Yeah, from cardio. Cardio will burn. If your diet's not supportive of muscle, it's going to chew it.
Yeah. Yeah, and your muscle needs some form of stimulus to hold on to it because why would your body hold on to muscle if it's not being trained?
Your body doesn't know you're going into a gym to train. Yeah. All it knows is you're now running or walking more and still eating too little. So again, now we're starving and we're on the move. I tell you what, we'll shut our metabolism down even harder and hold into those fat stores even harder, which creates stubborn fat stores, which creates cellulite more for women especially if you're underhydrated and things like that. Everything that fills you out like muscle and plumps out, pushes against the skin is going to reduce all of those factors. Yeah. They're going to make you look better overall. And one of the big things to notice is that more women now are starting to train with the weights. And how many more women are starting to look so much more feminine and better in what you're seeing on social media. Yeah. And all these girls lift and yet they're curvy and firm. That's the thing, curvy and firm. They're not curvy because they're in a set of Spanx that's shaping them. And there are still people like that. Fuck those people. Like, don't do work by this shit. No, fuck you guys. Like, it takes time. But the longer you do anything, the more your body will adapt and the harder it will be to lose it. That's what I want you guys to know. If you put the time in, if you put the months and the years in, it will take you months and years to lose it, not days and weeks. So where did we get up to before we confuse people? So we got into your averages of taking your daily weight. We told you need your resistance training. The resistance training will actually burn fat up to, I think it's up to like 7 or 8 hours post training. Whereas cardio,
I don't know if that's true, but I'm sure that used to be a thing. Because like 8 hours.
It is true if you incorporate the fact that it's repairing the muscle and utilizing the fat stores if you're in a deficit to help repair for the energy, blah blah. But cardio only burns fat literally up to about an hour after you finish doing it. Once your blood lipid levels reduce, that's it done. So resistance training over cardio all day long, but obviously cardio is a tool, calories are a tool, and those are the things that you adjust. Now if you adjust your cardio, you don't adjust your calories. If you adjust your calories, you don't adjust your cardio, and that's how it works. And it's like a step system. It's not a linear line, it's not a straight line. You want to just step your way down or step your way up depending on what your goal is, whether it's gain or loss. And the big thing is 1 week your weight doesn't drop. Doesn't fucking matter. You still put a week in and I guarantee there's still being positives from that. The fucking scales are not God.
Yeah, if you've been there and you've been training, then that's a bonus.
There have been results, whether you can see them on a scale or not. You might get, a lot of women especially who start weight training will see a weight gain on the scales, and that can be very, very disheartening. Even guys who haven't trained will see a weight gain at the beginning, and that's water retention, glycogen retention, and within about 4 or 5 weeks, also muscle development. And so don't be afraid of that. And that's why you also have the mirror and the measurements alongside you so that you can see it. Because at the end of the day, you can have two people side by side that look identical. And we've done this with me and Lou and are completely different weights.
Yeah.
Completely, utterly different weights. So if you're a girl, it's all about what size you're fitting into, what your measurements are. If you're a guy, it's all about the same thing. What size t-shirt is, what PRs are you hitting, all that. Well, same with the girls with PRs, but, just in terms of what guys look for.
Performance as well, that's something very important to track.
So that's the thing with the fat loss from specific areas. You can't do it, but what you can do is get in great shape overall by doing the one thing that you would do to get rid of the hard spot anyway.
Yeah.
There's so much more we could talk about on that. It's huge. But those are the basics. The basics that people need to fucking know. Oh, and one more thing. The meat and the butter.
Oh, yeah, meat and butter. Sorry, I forgot that.
You cannot, now listen, motherfuckers, cannot turn muscle into fat.
Oh, God.
They coexist within the body. If you could turn one into the other, they would merge together in a mutant mess and you'd be a blob on the floor. Saying you can turn muscle into fat is like saying you could turn butter into bacon.
Yeah.
You fucking idiots.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Butter, steak. You make me a steak out of butter, I will give you free blowjobs for the rest of your life.
I'll try.
So you can't do that. What you do is you're burning fat off to replace it with muscle because you're going training and getting your body into a different state of adaptation.
I haven't heard that one for a long time,
I got it literally today.
Really?
I'm not feeling great about myself. How could I turn fat into muscle? And it's just a philosophy that some people genuinely believe is a possible. Oh, the other thing is when people, you do all that weights now, don't you? Look good now. Yeah. But when you stop, that'll just turn to fat. That's like saying, cool, so steak just turns to butter then, does it?
Yeah, if you leave that steak on the side.
Yeah, it just turns to butter. Like logic people. No, it doesn't turn to fat. What happens is you'll get guys that train, and they're eating 4,000 calories a day, then stop training but keep consuming 4,000 calories a day and get fat. Nothing turns to fat. The muscle deteriorates because they're not keeping it.
Often when people do have that, they still actually keep a good amount of muscle mass.
Well, if
they're in a
they just put fat on top because they're not burning as many calories. So now they're in a greater calorie excess. So the reason that you don't go in a massive excess when you go on a gain and you only go up 200 calories a time is because if you go over more than you need to just help your muscle be progressive, then it's just excessive calories that have nowhere to go and will be stored as fat. It's the only way your body can deal with it. So you only, again... Gaining is kind of the opposite. You only want to eat as much as necessary to grow a little bit rather than eat excess and just hope that you grow from using some of it.
Yeah, assuming that the primary goal is purely muscle gain, not
so weight loss is the goal is to eat as much as possible while still losing weight. Weight gain, the goal is to eat as little more than you need, but enough to keep you growing.
Yeah.
It's bad English, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Eat as little as possible to keep as little as possible above where you are each time to see progression in a positive way.
Yeah, keep the surplus or the deficit as minimal as possible to be moving in the direction that you want to.
Yes, and that is dictated by mirror measurements, average of your weekly weigh-ins.
I think we've nailed.
I think and if you've got any more questions there, we killed one fly, another is here. Maybe these flies are like the questions. One appears with every new little subject matter that comes. Right. Just bing from the air.
Yeah.
But that is a huge one. I think that'll cover it for a lot of people. Fat loss debunked. Yeah. And you also, green tea. Can I give you this one? Green teas that burn fat. Do you know how much green tea you actually have to drink a day? How many you have to drink a day to make it actually beneficial?
Probably like 200.
To be able to be monitored it is 12 cups of green tea a day.
Yeah.
Which is why you see some people put like 6 bags in a litre bottle at a time. That is the only way. So six in a litre bottle each time, then you'll see a benefit from
all of these things, these like kind of fat burners, whatever else. Yes, they will make small differences.
No, let's not say that because again, you're giving people false hope. Fat burners are not fat burners. If they're over a counter, all they do either is an appetite suppressant.
Yeah.
So it'll just try and stop you eating. Nothing actually targets fat that you can buy over the counter.
No, not at all. Fat burner. The name fat burner is very misleading.
Shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah. So they're gonna. It's gonna.
Should be called appetite suppressants.
Yeah. So you've either got appetite suppressants or some form of an amphetamine, which is gonna increase your heart rate, make you burn calories slightly more than you would
because
otherwise.
Your heart rate's higher.
Yes,
not
which
healthy.
is not healthy. So don't do that.
No.
just do more movement, because the thing is the difference over the course of a day might be 50 to 100 calories, which you could do by going for a walk.
Yep.
Or doing the vacuuming, or just some shit around your house.
If you're wearing something that monitors your calorie burning for the day, even in a really basic way, like a Fitbit or whatever, that's adequate enough. Just go off that. Yeah. Because if you go off, all you have to do is go off what you're going off consistently. Don't change everything around. So say, even if you weighed yourself on the shittiest scales ever, it wouldn't matter if you use the same shitty scales every time, because you get the same consistent reading. Yeah.
All right. We're done. We've done this to death now. Yeah. Should we move on?
So that we have 20 minutes left for question time.
Okay.
Sweet. You're welcome for all you people that thought you could turn butter into steak.
You got questions on yours, or will I dig mine out? Or
yeah, can do, but you just have to monitor the old thing. We've got 18 minutes left. Let's have a little looky from the last time.
Yeah, because we had so many questions last time. Even though we did an entire Q&A dedicated to getting through them, we still didn't get through them all.
No, there were too many.
And so we've still got some more to go through.
You start.
I've got some here now. So, did you see the pics of Jason Momoa as the new Crow?
No. Google that immediately.
Not as good as yours, dude.
I honestly don't think they could cast somebody better than you for matching Brandon Lee.
Yeah, if there is another one coming out now. So I did see this. I'm sure this was a couple of years ago, and I don't think
it's old though.
Yeah, I don't think it's actually happened. I think that it was gonna happen, and then it never actually did.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a beard, obviously, when he's got it.
No.
But some of these are created by the internet, so it's hard to know.
I would, if I was going to play Brandon Lee, I'd need to drop some body fat.
The blurry test footage picture.
Yeah.
It's the only one I've seen.
Yeah.
The rest of it's all done by fan-created imagery.
There's one with him, and the director stood behind him. I'm sure he's in the makeup chair.
Oh, it's not popping up. Nah, these are all just computer-generated.
I'm sure there is
fan versions.
Did you enjoy the last season of Rick and Morty?
I did. Yeah. I enjoyed them all. I thought they were, especially with the finales going so crazy.
Yeah,
I thought they were.
Yeah, I did enjoy it. I think
bit confusing.
The Crow, the last two episodes that are linked, isn't it? The Crow ones, because obviously normally they don't play into each other. They're just singular.
It got a little bit emotional with it, didn't it?
Yeah. Which I kind of liked, and I kind of didn't. I'm not saying I didn't like it at all. I'll still watch it, but I missed the light-heartedness.
Yeah, got a bit. What's the word? Deep.
Yeah, because for me, Rick and Morty is pure escapism. Normally, I'll just turn it on in the background while I'm watching something, or I'll have a little smoke and get high and watch some Rick and Morty. And just
can you understand it if you're a little bit high?
It doesn't matter.
You're just watching colours.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And it's just good to completely disconnect and just watch some stupid shit.
Yeah. I thought it started well when it started off with him thinking he couldn't be replaced with crows, and Rick was like, "Fuck you," but then it just carried it on like that severed them. Yeah. I was like, "Ooh, that's a bit much."
Yes, yeah. I do like how the seemingly really small things end up being the entire story, and that they do that very well. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Definitely better than the last season. I wasn't as much of a fan of the last season. I thought that was probably the worst one that they'd done. But yeah, this season that came out,
the one prior to the one that's just been,
because
it was something a bit off about that.
It was season 4, I think, because that was where they had the big break in between, and then I think that they were like, they'd got the budget accepted, and then they were just like, they were trying to like one up themselves, but it almost felt like they were trying too hard. So yeah, overall, yes, good.
Okay, how to rid of shoulder pain, bro, from India? Well, that's a big question. Well, that's like saying, how do I stop my body aching?
Yeah. Do you need
the main one with shoulder pain? If you're getting shoulder pain, is one, check your posture and make sure that you're not letting your shoulders pronate too much, rolling in. And you need to make sure that you're setting your posture before you're lifting. So that means chest up, shoulders back, core engaged. But one of the big things for shoulder health is monkey hangs. So literally on a pull-up bar, just get up on the pull-up bar with your body weight and just hang and let all your weight sink through to your feet, and your shoulders should come up to like above your ears, like completely sink, utterly, totally relaxed, like all your weight sink through. If you do that a couple of times a day, it can literally stop you needing surgery.
Yeah, I think hangs, face pulls as well, they're a really crucial thing.
People fuck face pulls like you wouldn't believe, though. I've seen them. I don't think I've ever seen them done well.
Really?
Unless it's somebody I know who knows how to train.
Yeah.
If I just look around the gym generally and watch someone do a face pull, terribly done. They're just training their traps and back.
Yeah, I think,
I just don't think it's an easy exercise to connect with.
YouTube, how to do face pulls. I think banded face pulls are far better than cable face pulls.
Yes, definitely. That's a good call.
Like, because when you're out there, that's pointless. That's not really why you're doing a face pull. It's basically this last bit of range of motion where you're activating your rear delts. And obviously, you do want to activate your traps to a certain degree. It's kind of making sure that you're hitting some of the smaller areas, but mainly the rear delts, making sure that your shoulder is going to be
the best way of describing it is to do a rear double bicep as you pull through.
Yeah.
Because what you see is a lot of people just pull their fist to the face. Yeah. Think about doing a rear double bicep. So you're almost turning your knuckles over to the wall behind you.
So you're ending up, literally like that. So then the band should be like, touching your forehead.
Oh, yeah. And you need to be aiming for your temples, not your chin.
Yeah. But also, if there is actually some severe issue, go see a fucking physiotherapist, go see a doctor. Like,
yeah, don't buy that new set of trainers. Go fucking spend your money on a physio.
Yeah, like that's far more important. If you've got an injury, look after yourself. If you're not gonna spend your money on yourself, what are you gonna spend it on?
Oh, we start so serious, and then 2 questions in: KY jelly or WD-40? Which one loosens your nuts? Hashtag RoboArm. Well played. Oh, yeah, I'd need more WD-40 at the moment than KY jelly. I can't risk it for a biscuit on the KY jelly front. Yeah. Do you miss RoboArm? Did it make? What do you mean miss it? I still got it. Dude, I'm not fucking healed.
Yeah, like he's fixed in 2 weeks.
Not, I really am. Hey, you know it's under 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm already like, the doc would be so mad if he saw me like this. Sorry, Dr. Singh. He's gonna be. But when I go, I've got my appointment on December the 2nd to go see him. I genuinely think he's gonna look at me and be like, "Are you Wolverine? Like, what the fuck is?" Because they when I went to the physio, she was like, "What the fuck? How are you extending your arm that far?" I'm like, "Because I'm awesome." Yeah. She's like, "You shouldn't be. You should be at 90 degrees." I'm like, "Yeah, but look." And she was like, "Mm-hmm." And I was like, "So what can I do?" She's like, "Nothing. You are so far ahead of anything I can give you before the surgeon sees you. I can't give you anything. Just please don't lift anything with it." Yeah. That's all she kept saying.
Yeah, don't do it.
So when I go to him, I think I'm going to ask him, am I further ahead than any other patient you've ever had? Yeah. Collagen and BPC, I'm telling you. Would you rather wake up to a blood... Oh, we've done that one. So we've done some of these. Where did I get up to? Okay.
I've got one here.
I've got one. Yeah, go. You go first.
Would you rather always wear roller skates or always wear gloves?
Always wear gloves.
Same for me because I can't roller skate.
Yeah, no. I can't.
Although I would after a couple of weeks, but not. But
imagine roller skates in bed.
Yeah, oh god.
Imagine roller skates in the shower.
Yeah, can't even wear socks in bed, let alone roller skates. Yeah, gloves.
What are you looking forward to most when your arm is better, weights or boxing or both?
Masturbation.
Stroking cats. Weights, generally, really. Because I wonder if I'm going to be a bit timid with the boxing because that's where I did it. I'm definitely going to be pulling that right hook.
Probably at the start, but that's probably a safe thing,
But then I'll just return to my 12-year-old kid and just and forget that I did anything bad previously. Yeah, and just go straight balls back in. I think we've done some of these. You go now. I'll go. We'll do.
How did you build such a ghetto booty then? Should be black booty Bob?
Yeah, you do have a ghetto booty. That's some natural girth plus strength training.
I got some thick old glutes. Honestly, for me, so I've always had fairly decent glutes anyway. But when I transitioned over to doing these safety squat box squats, that's something that really fucking got my glutes going. I don't know why. They're going to be coming back at some point, probably in the new year.
You rave about those.
Yeah, SSB box squats.
SSB is the
safety squat bar. Yeah, the one where you're holding the handles there. I fucking love that movement, and yes, it will be coming back in the new year, and the calorie surplus will be coming back in the new year, and the thickness will be coming back in the new year.
Is it starting in the new year?
Maybe not straight away, but it will be at some point. I need to actually just out of plan. I keep saying this, but
it's really not that complicated though.
No, I know. I want to get my blood
what's
done.
That guy called Doctor Something online, and he's an older dude who looks really good. He's a really intelligent guy. What's his bloody name? No, I'll think of it. But you can basically, he goes on with all the protocols and everything, because obviously in this country you can't go to your doctor and do it.
And also, like, I'm not.
These are guys that do it properly, professionally, and this guy's like leading in his field. He was leading because he was the guy that started having people do it every 3 days over once a week.
Yes,
he was one of the guys that started that out and explained. And he does full Q&As on dosages, levels, what needs to be taken alongside, and all that kind of shabazz. Yeah. I did watch one, and basically they're only on testosterone is it enanthate, the quick acting one, and then they do it every 3 days. Right. Yeah. I think that's right, isn't it? Enanthate?
Yeah, enanthate is one. I don't know if it's quick.
Because cypionate is real fast, and there's enanthate is like a little bit slower.
I thought that was a medium one.
Yeah, like but not super fast.
Faster and slow acting.
What's the slow one?
I have no idea.
No, I don't know.
I don't think it necessarily matters, because even on the slow release ones, from what I can tell, I think so. You still get that initial spike, and then it drops off. So even if you had one and you were taking it once a week, you'd have this peak and then drop off, and that's where people have problems when they have these like spikes.
Because they're taking more in one go as well, so they get that big spike. Whereas if they're taking it every 3 days, they're taking a lesser dose, so you're getting less of these spikes.
Yeah, ideally you want to have like a relatively.
Well, you want to mimic the natural order as much as possible, don't you?
It would peak a little bit in the morning and taper off throughout the day. Yeah. So in theory, if you wanted to microdose it and have it like daily. That would be the best, but it'd be a fucking
which would be actually the best way, but then you'd be pinning yourself every day, which most people
probably wouldn't.
Which is why the once a week thing probably started to make it user friendly, so Americans and all that would jump in and go, "Oh, it's just once a week. Yeah, I can handle that." As soon as you told them it'd be like every 3 days, that's a lot more. Oh, a needle every 3 days.
Yeah, I think for me, I from what I'm looking at now, I'll probably go 50 milligrams 3 times a week, so 150 mil over the week.
Right.
Because again, that's probably the high end of. Well, it's not bodybuilder TRT. No. But in terms of actual legitimate.
What would a bodybuilder take? 300?
Like, people still classify. I've heard some people classify 500 milligrams of test as TRT, which is fucking
idiots.
stupid.
Let's talk about the sensible.
I think 2 to 250 is kind of what bodybuilders would class as TRT. But that's well above what you would have naturally.
That's nowhere in a natural range.
I think even 150 is probably not. Maybe some like elite specimen of people might be in that same kind of category.
I wonder if your size matters as well. What if you're like a 300-pound dude? Surely you're going to need more than a guy who's like 180 pounds.
But and your nuts are still the same size, aren't they? Or well, obviously that varies, and like they're going to be what's producing.
Something for us to research, that is.
Yeah.
I think I will. Whenever you do all your research, I'll probably join you on that front, mate. Yeah, especially after this.
Yeah. And also, I don't want to fully guise this as TRT because I feel like
it's not TRT. You don't need testosterone.
No, I don't.
You just want to optimize your body's potential within a natural range.
Yeah, I don't want to feel like I'm being a cop out here and saying that yes, I'm wanting to take anabolic steroids, but I also don't. I'm trying to put it across in a way where I'm not being fucking stupid. I'm not going to just fire in a load of trend. I'm like I want to just do something that's going to enhance my life in terms of training, cognitive function. I'm fucking busy all the time. I'm tired. I want to have a little bit more.
You want to be a healthy positive.
Yeah.
Just imagine you came in 1 week just raging. Yeah. Just fucking mad
as
fuck.
Just bottle you. Just like,
nobody move. Just looking at questions.
Just turned Scottish overnight.
Stupid fucking question. You fucking He's on the trend, ladies and gentlemen.
So I'm saying TRT, but technically it's not TRT because it's not been prescribed by a doctor. I'm just saying that
self-administered TRT.
And realistically, I don't think at all I have low testosterone. Like I don't really have any of the symptoms for it. But it doesn't mean that I couldn't make a slight enhancement, which is going to have a positive effect on my life with minimal negatives.
Medical benefits to doing it for men when they get into their mid to late 30s is it reduces the rate of prostate cancer massively. It reduces loads of degenerative diseases that we can see. It even fruit fly. Oh,
nope.
That was my good arm. Whoa! I think you got that. How did you get him? God, they're ninjas. I'm going to find out what the source of their power is.
It must be the plants. Should we have a
nibble?
Gotta
be. Yeah, we'll have a nibble.
Is it aloe vera?
Right, I think we're running out of time. We're coming to the end of it, people. Let's do a quick one. Never got one. What thing you do in life would you like to see lifetime data on? How much, e.g., like how much weight lifted over an entire lifetime. I'd like to know how many breaths I've taken over an entire lifetime.
I would not. I don't think I wouldn't care.
It'd just be interesting.
Total calories consumed.
Oh yeah, that'd be funny, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be really.
Or you could go really fine out in like the number of times that you've stabbed yourself.
Yeah.
Just to see how stupid you really are.
Yeah.
Number of broken items dropped for no good reason.
Yeah.
Number of times stubbed toe on stair.
Oh, number of things I've misspelt.
Yeah, it's a dyslexia. Yeah, that would crush you.
Yeah.
Or, you keep going.
Yeah, or it'd be number of things that I've misspelt that someone's identified and got annoyed by. And all of them would be Emma. Because she literally, like sometimes I'll post something on my story and then she'll literally just text me the correct spelling of them.
That's it, just one word
Yeah,
back.
just for like.
What about number of times you thought you were in with a girl, but you actually weren't?
Yeah.
Stuff like that, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Real little things, just to realise stuff.
Yeah.
Number of times you nearly died in a car but never knew it.
Yes. Oh, that'd scare you though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You'd probably not want to get in a car.
It'd at least be 100 odd, wouldn't it?
God, yeah.
Like you if something had happened like a meter before.
Yeah, that you just missed.
Final Destination stuff.
Yeah.
Right, we've got time for one more. What movie would you make with unlimited funding? I would make like a dark action thriller. Something like what I believe the Batman's going to be.
The Batman.
Yeah, something like that. And I'd hire in just some of the best. Like you'd have like you get Schneider in on it, and so whoever you fit your characters the best. Come in, probably get Bale in there because he's just
just a badass. I think I'd probably have to say I'd love to see Fallout put into a film. Just the Fallout games, that universe, that world, something that we've not seen in a film setting. It probably you'd have to. I reckon Fallout 3 actually.
I've not played a single one of them.
Fallout 3.
Should I download that to play it? Or will I lose?
That's Fallout 4 that we've got downstairs. Yeah, you will lose years of your life.
Is it literally Skyrim?
It's Skyrim. Yeah, it's the same kind of premise of like being able to just
miles and miles and miles. Right, I'm not doing it.
There's no kind of vehicles or anything like that you walk.
Well, PS5. Can I just say by the way, if you've got a PS5 and you're playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you may as well get a PS4. They've absolutely not used those PS5 whatsoever. God of War looks amazing in 4K. That's incredible. And that is all I've got through so far.
Yeah.
But I think the potential for this system's huge, and I don't think they've even started with it yet. I genuinely don't think any of the games have been PS5'd.
No, the first year or two, most consoles, they're barely scratching the surface of what they can do. It's not really, it's because they haven't phased out the old console, so most things come out on both platforms.
Yeah, until they kill off the PS4, we're not going to see it.
Yeah.
But get one for Christmas, and then we'll all get gamer tags, and we'll have a CREWCast blast off.
Oh, that'd be good. That means I need to buy one though.
Right, that's it. We're in. Yeah, you need to get off Xbox. Rightio. That is it. We're crashing this one in the 90-minute allotted time.
Yeah.
So
we're going to go play some PlayStation.
We are. We're actually going to do that. So have a great weekend, people. Whatever was good in last week, bring it forward. Whatever was bad or a bag, leave that fucker behind. Leave the bag of bad the fuck behind.
That bad bag.
And Maker's Mark goes down nicer as that ice cube melts. So definitely, that's a nice one. All right, have a good one, people. Make your own energy and have a great week.
Toodle pip.
Toodle pip.